Okay, we'll try this again. My phone keeps freezing up, so here we are. Trying a video for the 5th time. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, to be honest. I painted my fingernails. Not even sure why I'm doing a video. Probably just to add another lame-ass video to my channel that probably won't get watched. Because I'm boring. I'm a boring mom. But anyways, figured since I have a minute by myself without people in my ear, I would do some journaling. I got these books. I got this one. My sister finds these random journaling books and sends them to me. Well, she doesn't send them, she gives them. There's all these talk about yourself and stuff, so I've got a nice little bag right here, partially full of journals. That's probably like a fourth of the journals I have. And most of them are empty, and if they do have something written on them, it's usually just the first few pages. Like this one, what, 6 pages right there. My first entry was like a year ago, but yeah, I don't know, I just have like the worst time trying to actually sit down and like focus and just, I don't know, think. Most days it's like, it's just like repetitive work, home, work, home. And it's just, I feel like a freaking robot / zombie most days. It's just mindless, just, going through the motions, but not really thinking much of, like, things, because I have too many people in my ears, and I can't think when I have people in my ear, if you know what I mean. And then they get mad because I can't hear them, because they mumble, and this ear, I think I'm going deaf in it. I have a hard time hearing people, and it rings a lot, so, yeah. But this one, I actually just decided to do a entry, since I'm left alone long enough. And maybe I could get some thought process going. Sorry, I'm gonna yawn a lot because I didn't get much sleep last night. At least it doesn't feel like it. I was the closing manager at my work last night. Didn't get to bed till midnight. Was up at like 7 because my kids were fighting my husband on going to school because they were complaining they didn't get enough sleep. You know how kids are, they like to stay up all night and then complain about having to get up the next day. But yeah, I love my kids, mind you that. I just have days where it's like, go play, leave mama alone. So yeah. On this one actually has some pretty good, questions on it. Like today it said, what struggle has given you incredible strength and how did it strengthen you? Are you facing a struggle right now that is testing your limits? All right, anybody that actually watches my videos, which is like almost none, maybe comment, struggles you've been through or that you're going through now. And, let's talk about it, have a conversation. I don't like feeling like I'm talking to myself, which I do most of the time, just talk to the wall, get more of a reaction out of it, right? Well, my struggles, for the most part, would be my mental health. It's like, I am just lately been so, like, easily angered. And just feel, like, overstimulated just due to, work, come home, and, those kids at home, my husband, they're constantly, like, in my ear and, fighting and yada, yada, yada. And at work, I got, the younger kids, they're, like, high schoolers or fresh out of high school, and they got their, like, drama and complaints and thinking they need to, like, tell me about it. And, most days I'm like, too much info. Don't want to hear it, but whatever, if it makes you feel better. But, yeah, so other struggles. Let's see, what else am I struggling with? Besides my being easily angered, I have a lot of self-doubt that I need to work through. Yeah. So that's that one. And then I got this one. I really need to make it a habit to write in these more, just to get them filled up. Like this one. I got this back in October, and I did 1, 2, 3 entries so far, due to just not being able to sit down and focus long enough. Write a diary entry dated 10 years in the future. So 10 years in the future would be, let's see, 2032. I would be 48, and my boys will be done with school and hopefully have a job. So, like, dear diary, my boys have gotten jobs and are experiencing real life. I feel like school and real life are like way two separate like things, man. Like in school, depending, people could give a shit because, you're young, you're learning, and they're like, well, yada, yada, yada. This is what we're going to do to help you. And then as you get older, it's like people have their own problems and, they don't really want to deal with, like, your problems. So they're like, don't bug me about it, or, people go their separate ways, and you have a harder time getting together with, like, friends and family because of, like, work schedules. Because, schooling, like high school, elementary, it's all, like, depending on where you live, it'd be like start at like 7:45 until like 2:35 for secondary. Elementary, it's like 8:30 to like 3:30 or something like that here, to where you can, after school, hang out with your friends. Then you got like your adulting stuff where you could work mornings and then your friend will work afternoons. So it's like you don't really see your friends as much, if you have friends. I don't have friends, so it's like whatever. I do have like work friends that I visit with at work or whatever, but like, I don't know. Am I making sense, or am I just rambling like in a jackass? I don't know. Most days I don't make sense to myself, so I just keep talking. Be quiet. I don't know you. I'm not answering my phone if I don't know you. Anyways, let's see. Dear Diary. My boys have gotten jobs and are experiencing real life. What else could I write about 10 years from now? I finally able to spend money on me. I am the type of parent that likes, I would rather spend my money on my children than myself. So I rarely buy anything for me because I'm usually making sure my kids have clothing, my kids have food. If depending on like their attitudes and stuff, I'll buy them like a game for their Xbox or whatever, VR headset or whatever, depending, on their attitudes and stuff. But like, I rarely spend money on me. It's mostly towards necessities for my children. So, I mean, I could wear the same pair of shoes for like 5 or 10 years just to make sure my kids have shoes or socks or whatever. So, yeah, I rarely get a haircut like professionally done. Like, yeah. I rarely do anything, hobby wise for myself besides maybe journaling. But I don't know, it's just, I don't have a lot of me time. Let's see, money on me. Have more me time. Because most part I work during when the kids are at school. Except for 2 nights out of the week where I close, because I'm a closing manager. So when I'm home, I generally have someone in my ear, whether it's the husband, the kids, or one of my coworkers texting saying, whatever problems they have. And I'm the type that'll just sit there and listen to them, because a lot of times just getting it out makes you feel better, like me. It just need to get it out, otherwise you dwell on it, and then your mental health just isn't very good if you, yeah, anyways. Let's see, 10 years from now, I would be 48. God, I'm old. Hopefully 10 years from now, my husband will still be alive. He has chondrosarcoma. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video, but yeah. I hope this video is not boring. I feel boring, like really boring. So if you know of anything I could do to like not make this boring, or if you think I'm doing okay, let me know. Thumbs up, comment, I don't know, something. Yeah, I'm kind of a boring person. So says my kids, but you know, I guess parents are supposed to be boring. I don't know. Let's see. More me time. I don't know. I think I'll just leave it at that. Set that there. And then there's this one, the Book of Me. That basically you talk about like your personal life. Let's see. It has spots where you give your full name, how your name was chosen, what you like to go by, nicknames you've had. If you could choose a different name, what would it be? If you could choose, like you didn't have a choice. Well, I guess you wouldn't until you're like 18 or something. Then you could legally change it, but you gotta go through a bunch of bullshit, you know. But then there's spots where you can write down your physical characteristics, distinguishing marks, signature clothing, mannerisms that distinguishes you from others. What's this? In the beginning, or my debut, just talks about your mom's pregnancy, what happened during your birth, what you was like in your first 5 or so years, it looks like, where you've lived in your early years. Most of these I would have to ask my parents because I wouldn't know. So, or even like uncles and aunts or something. Some of these I know, some of these are a little more difficult to think about because of my memory. It says, what is the first time you remember getting punished for something? That's a good question. I remember 3rd grade, my cousin did something to get me and her in trouble with teacher. I just remember sitting like one of them circular desks, tables, and she seemed upset or something, because I don't know. I don't really remember. My memory sucks really bad. What about your parents seemed old-fashioned? Let's see, what else is there? There's just crap loads of questions. How much did you worry about being popular? I really didn't care. I was like a wallflower, I guess you could say. Let's see, my young adult years, talks about when you was younger. Any spots where you could talk about your mom, your dad, influential relatives. So that's that one. I'll have to fill more of that out later. And then there's this one. It's just, I write down just random things that aren't in my other books that have writing prompts. So yeah, I do a lot of, in this thing, let's see, top of some of these pages, brain dump. You just, whatever comes to your mind, write it down. I do a lot of Dear Stranger type things. Be like, Dear Stranger, don't forget you are like amazing. You're a ray of sunshine. You know, you're doing your best. Don't give up. Just, I don't know, words of inspiration, I guess. Something like that. There's that. My sister bought me this from our local Deseret Industries. Like, there's so many different types of journals out there for like your cats and stuff. I got, is it this one? Let's see. I started this one out for Miss Katerina, my tortoiseshell colored one. I need to write more in it. But it kind of, let's see. All about my cat, like her name, her age, her markings, just interesting little like facts and stuff about her. So like, did your cat enter your home as a kitten or an older companion? Briefly record your cat's adoption story. I had gotten her when she was about 3 or 4 months old from a lady in Tridell. His cat was pregnant, ended up with a bunch of cats, and I wanted another cat. Vince actually named Katarina after a cat on Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. The white cat, I think. It's been a while since we watched that show, but I think it was the little white cat. She's always talking. She really be like meow meow or something. It just talks about their characteristics and how it gets along with other animals and stuff. I need to fill this out. I've only filled out a couple pages. I've had this since, I think, October. This is how, like, brain scattered I am. I have the hardest time sitting down and just focusing on things. So, there's those. And then, I actually got 2 of these. I probably should fill one out for, Imp, my gray and white cat. Well, I got this. This one is actually the one I do. Letter writing challenges. I usually just write them in this because, I don't know, guess I could write them to people. I mean, write them on, like, other writing paper and actually give them to people, but I have so much anxiety that it's just hard to write things down and then give them to people. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, there's that one. You can use journals for just about anything. If you want to write somebody a letter, but you don't actually want to give it to them like I do, get your journal and, you know, be like, dear childhood best friend, you is my best friend. And, you know, go your separate ways after school because, you know, your friend moves to another city or, you know, does their own thing so you don't see them as often, you know, because life sucks. Life gets in the way. I am the worst at drawing, but I do got... My son did that, and then I was kind of working on, like, decorative lettering, I guess you can call it. But... yeah, there's that. I'm not even sure what that is. I also got this prayer book. If you're the type that likes to write letters to God, then, you know, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself, like, really religious, but I do like to hope and believe that there's, like, a higher power out there, and that if you talk to them and stuff, maybe, you know, they'll send you a sign type thing or something. Let's see, what other... I write poems in this. Alright, well, that's my lame-ass video, so enjoy.